Peter rose up and said unto them, Men and brethren, ye know that how that a good while ago God made choice among us, that the Gentiles by my mouth.
By whose mouth?
My mouth.
By whose mouth?
My mouth.
So Peter seems to be conscious that he had a calling. That the Gentiles would, by his mouth, hear what?
Hear the word of the gospel and believe.
To imagine that Peter is talking about a ministry that he was given, but he never fulfilled. It was given to him, but self stopped him. Had he remained the same Peter that cried that day, had he remained the same Peter that was angry at being asked, do you love me? Had he remained the same Peter that was willing to stand before the council of the elders and not allowed the voice of tradition to speak to him, he would have been the foundation of what we now term the Paulinic gospel. He would have been the foundation. People of God, atingouya kuchechi kuzongouya, tiri kuuya kuchechi kuzokura, tiri kuuya kuchechi kuzogadzira ukama naMwari. Some of you used to pray and miracles would happen. Some of you would dream every day. Some of you you would feel God prompt you to do certain things and you do them immediately. But something happened and you stopped. But what you don't realize is there is a dimension of God that you aborted like Peter. We would have been talking of the New Testament gospel, the gospel unto us the Gentiles, or unto us those formerly called Gentiles. We would have been talking about Peter, and Paul probably wouldn't have gotten into ministry. But because you refused, you were acting, yes, chosen. He's not in hell, Peter, he's in heaven. But look at what he could have achieved. Some of you now, you feel so qualified in the things of God. And that feeling is your abortion of the dimension that God had ordained for you. There are things that were ordained for some of you, but you developed a character that disqualifies you. And you still look like you qualify. Because there was a time when God would speak to you. There was a time when God shaped things around you. And those things are the evidence of God's utterances. But unfortunately, to now it disqualified you. But you happened. But the dress happened. But money happened. You would stand when the gospel is preached, but self happened. Some of you were powerful, serving members in the house of God, but you happened. Some of you would sing and the heavens would open and there would be an open portal, but you happened. Self happened. Some men of God, they will just pass by and by their shadows, the sick will be healed. But now, it's no longer happening. What happened? You happened. You listened to a voice that you were never supposed to listen to. Some of you, you can feel that the life that you are living is not your life. This is not the best of what God ordained for you. You know it. But self will never allow you to take a proper stock take. It will never allow you. I look at people sometimes. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that can tell a spiritual abortion. So it doesn't necessarily mean if I spoke a word to you today, that word may hold a year from now. No. No. If you change and you become the qualified you, and yet you were chosen because you were disqualified, can you inherit the inheritance of the disqualified, yet you are now qualified? No. Maimba ini pasina ma instruments. Izvezvi hamuchaimba pasina ma instruments. Mainamata imi madziwa achibuda musina basa navo, mutsvaga marriage, mutsvaga basa. But all that ended when you got the job. Now you deserve better. And you can tell now when you do things for God, He's absent. You can tell. Self happened. And there is only one creature that comes to make you conscious of self at the abortion of your destiny. It's the devil. Musati ma pastor maiverenga mavhesi every day. Muchinamata every day. Pamakangonzi ma pastor mbazvapera. You can tell when you are preaching, when you are reading the word, that it's you, not him. Nozvinzwa. It's you, it's no longer him. Because you are doing it for self. I've seen people, when they do things for self, the level of energy that they exhibit. No wonder people love having their tears flow only at funerals of people that are probably going to hell. But when it comes to God, they can't cry for God. Maizvambarara pasi muchinamata imimi. Musina basa nequality yesutu. But unfortunately, you allowed certain people to walk into your territory and tell you about you. And yet you were never supposed to listen to them tell you about you, because they were never there when God raised you to become the you that you have become. There are people that will come to your life and tell you about your strengths that you don't have away from God. And yet the consciousness of those strengths will walk you out of His presence and you become useless. Your destiny is forfeited. Vanoya vanokuudza kuti munamato wako wakapenga, uchanamatira munamato. Vanokuudza kuti Mwari vanokushandisa zvisingaite, hauchanamatira kushandiswa. Nekuti hautofungidzira kuti iwe ndiwe kushanda kwacho. Mainamata akomana muri muminda, muri mumastreets anama imimi. Right now you still expect the same miracles to happen. There is a dimension of the miraculous that you are operating with the days that you got born again. And that sustained even your spiritual walk then. But you lost it. You lost it. What happened? It's because the qualification lost the unqualified and found the qualified. And yet the qualified has no ability to inherit the inheritance of the unqualified. That's why God, when God is giving you information, He doesn't give you everything. He wants you to rely on Him. He wants you to trust in Him. That's why even in the garden, He put that tree in there, knowing that it's not supposed to be eaten from. He wanted those people to behave according to their free will. So that when God judges, you are accountable for what you have done. He wanted men to trust in Him. But you feel so much like you know everything. It's amazing how sometimes coming to church over years can have a negative effect on some of you. Because you start looking at the number of years that you have attended church more than your relationship with God. And you talk about others being religious, and you are the epitome of religiousness now. The Pentecostal church used to call itself the new breed, the energetic, the charismatic. But where is the charisma now? Where is the power now? You speak like you know Him, you behave like you have Him, and yet you have nothing of Him. Nothing of His is still in you. The church is in trouble now. It has become the place of incubation of sin. People are no longer pursuing the heart of God. They are listening to the voice of the accuser of brethren more than unto the Son of the living God, Jesus. Everything is about self now. A self that makes you obliterate, destroy, kill, annihilate the voice of the Lamb of God.